So, um, hello. I want us to discuss teaching rubrics in essay writing. This paper was actually presented at a workshop for the teachers in FCT. Sometimes I think that should be last month now. Um, However, I don't know for whatever reasons I could not get the recording of my presentation, and there were issues. So I just felt I needed to do this so that can place this presentation on record, and anybody can access it on my YouTube channel. So I'm going to upload this to my YouTube channel for you to access. So the title of the of this particular um teaching, or if you want to say presentation, is teaching rubrics in essay writing. That is what is that you're going to be seeing. So the reason I actually needed to use, I was going to use my screen cast before, but the reason I decided to use this because I've been having problem getting the essay sample essays actually accessible on the ordinary recording of the screen. So I think with Zoom it is easier to do that. So I hope you enjoy this as we go along. Okay. So we are going to take the topics using this outline. What is essay writing? Types of essay writing. Assess students' essays. Assessment rubrics for essay writing. And then we're going to look at practical samples. Like I told you, this is the reason I decided to use Zoom so that I could record and share my screen with some of the essay samples that we used during the workshop. So essentially, these are the topics, the way we're going to cover the topics in this particular presentation. We're going to look at essays and their types, rubrics for essay assessment, practical samples of assessed essays. So we're going to look at that. Like I mentioned, this was actually the major motivation for me to do this Zoom recording. So let's look at essay types. I think from your probably early senior secondary or thereabout, you would have been, if not earlier, you would have been exposed to types of essay. So what I'm going to be saying now may not essentially be too new to many of us. And as teachers of English, we have to teach it, so it should actually be very, very familiar to us. So the first question, what is essay writing? Now, this has to do with the presentation of continuous written content which express the writer's thoughts concerning a topic of interest. Now, it could be as little as a page or as large as 300 pages or more. So you may be asked to write an essay, to write a composition. They call it in our junior class, which may be just one page. Then you may also be writing a PhD thesis, which of course will be a lot more number of pages. And so that I say could be as little as just a page or as large as 300 pages or more. So let's look at types of essay. Essentially, four types of essay are identified in the curriculum for students at the secondary school level in Nigeria. So we have the argumentative essay, you have the descriptive essay, you also have uh, what you also call expository essay. Then you have the narrative. So these are the basically four types. So while expository explains, descriptive describes, argumentative actually try to persuade you to take a side concerning the argument that's been made by the people that are speaking. So then you have the um, narrative, which is a storytelling. So it is chronological in its presentation. Um, this ordering is actually because there's a reason. One, it is what do you call it now? It's alphabetical. But essentially, also the last thing we're going to be talking about, we're actually going to be dwelling more on the narrative. So essays and their types continued. So what do we mean by assessing students' essay? Now, essays are written to be graded as part of the curriculum requirement in the Nigerian educational system. So it is not, the students are not doing a favor, or a teacher is doing a favor by trying to write essay, because for you to move to the next class, these are things you need to do. And if you are taking English, which is compulsory, this and funnily enough, you see, this is one of the major things that you have to do, because in the course of your life, you have to write a lot if you decide to make something of it anyway. So how this is done effectively is a motivation for this workshop in the first place. I must acknowledge that there's a research team headed by Dr. Bijay Yakubu of National University of Nigeria that actually got the idea. Of course, I was brought in, then I was taken out, and I was brought in again. But that's not the issue. They was the topic that was given to me, and I worked on it. So why do we need the rubrics? So these are the things that we want to talk about. So um there's a process, there's a structure to every curriculum. The things we teach the students, the children. Anyway, I must say it is what we teach them generally within the system. So a teacher may be a bit more innovative how to convey this, but then essentially, basically, these are the things that we do. So let's look at the rubrics of for assessing essays. So this has to do, contents. So the first thing you look at is content. What is the content that you have in that essay? Now, this has to do with the core topic focus and the relevance. So, whatever the person is saying, is it relevant to what is the focus of this topic? Is it related? Is the person giving one topic is about how to go to the market, and that's like telling you how they visited their boyfriend, then that means the content is at variance. So this may also refer to the topic focus, and it is the main idea driving the essay. So definitely the content more relevant to the topic. And so when you are assessing students, you need to look out for that what the person is writing is related to the topic that the person have been given, or the person choose, if in the case that where they are writing a project and they want to write. So this normally, if you have been a WAEC marker, it takes the content of course takes about 25% of the score that is awarded to students in the essay. Now you have expression. Now, what does it mean? So it is about how you present your language. I said the way you address, the way you address. I just came from a journey today, and I had to rush to the department, and someone was saying, I used to think you are a very large person. I said, I am not. This is where I am. I'm already thinking my weight is too much for me. So for someone to be even saying that the thought I was larger than this was surprising to me. So, but we are talking about expression. Now, I was just trying to convey that the dressing can actually be your own expression. So the how you present the message is what the message is about. The language employed to convey your ideas that you have in the essay, the core idea and the surrounding or supporting ideas. That is what your expression is. So you know how you put together the message in such a manner that it becomes sensible, connected, and coherent. So it has to be coherent. It has to be. You have to have control of your tenses. You have to have control, and this is a battle we have. And I'm surprised at master students that we are having this battle with students of English. So they should be teaching other people, where we have to be having this battle with them. Now, your expression is important and it's key. So otherwise it will distract from the essay. Um so as a teacher, when you are scoring, you need to look out for this and be sure the person is able to express themselves in a manner that it makes sense, that is coherent, that is logical, that is connected. Otherwise, the person will be wasting. I mean, I was serving as assistant examiner for somebody's work now, and I was reading and I was just telling myself, this person is just wasting everybody's time. And that is the way many of us write, and it is not just right. So when we are assessing our students' essay, we need to look out for the fact that the expression, I mean, they have good control of the language of expression in conveying what they want to say in that essay. So let's look at the next organization. Now, the organization of your content is also important. So how how the content is presented in an orderly manner is the focus of this assessment. So if the student is not able to present the introduction before concluding, then there's a problem. So because there's a logical thing, and that also affect narration, because narration has, I mean, of all of them, I think that's the greatest discipline because there's a chronological order. Now, this does not mean that you could not have a case where the person decide to um do artistic there's, when there's an artistic use of language for the purpose of just making an artistic impact or something like that, if I could say that. But what it means is that essentially what is expected is that when the person is writing, there's an order, there's a presentation. So yeah, somebody may try to use flashback in a narration by starting from the end. But this is usually, I mean, it should be obvious that this person is being artistic. Unlike somebody that seems to be disorganized and is writing, for many of us actually talk like that. Narration that's organized is actually requires a bit more discipline than the way we talk, because you may be saying something, oh, remember you recall something, now say, ah, yes, 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 I even branch to see this person, then you continue. So of course with presupposition and all of that, your co-interlocutor may be able to follow what you're saying. But in narration, it will just show that you have competence issues. So as a teacher, you need to be able to look out for this and be able to identify that the student is logical in their presentation, in the organization of their work. So mechanical accuracy is also another thing. It is this is a major one that gets students on the wrong side of the law. I mean, when I mean law, the law of the teacher, the law of the assessor. So anyway, the law enforcer here is the teacher that will be grading the essay. So mechanical accuracy has to do with the proper punctuation by the student. So the student need to be able to know where to place the comma, where to put the post, or where there's need for exclamation mark, where there's need for question mark. So these are, of course, the greatest I'll come to that. So one common factor here is the careless rendering by me. There are many students tend to be careless. They tend to be careless. I was still looking at this person's work and I saw I mean, everybody knows what to italicize in a reference are the book titles or journal titles. But this person was busy italicizing um what do you call it, the publisher. So there's a major problem. And for the level and the class that one was thinking this is for, so it is an epidemic. Now, so as teachers of English, we need to ensure that students understand why a comma is what is needed at a point and not a semicolon. We need to teach them so that by the time they're writing for us, I mean, it becomes a thing that becomes a part of them. So most students actually get zero in this place because they are so careless. Many of them are so careless, they do not take seriously. They need to be careful about how they punctuate. I had to do a whole video. You can still watch out on my channel for that, a whole video on punctuation. I had to do a whole video on punctuation with the hope that it will help somebody. So then let's go to rubrics. Now, rubrics are not kings, but important guidelines to help the student master the art of good writing. Because where there's no law, there's no sin. So the science of language learning is the world they encounter at tertiary level. And I want to say this. Everybody learns, whether you are going to be an engineer, a medical doctor, whatever, everybody learns the same basic usage of the language. Within Nigeria structure where English is compulsory, it's basically the same rules, the same guidelines that everybody learns to do their work. Now, if you decide to study English at the end of it, what you are learning is the science behind the language. So it is very important that we understand this. So basically, we need to help our students to master this so that in whatever profession they set to, they will excel with their proper usage of language and not because of confusion. Like the joke about during debate to say that I hope I have succeeded in convincing you rather than confusing you. I mean, it is funny with life at it, but then if somebody is not using the proper what do you call it now? When the person is not using the proper expression, the proper placement of their punctuation marks, it may cause confusion. Just a comma can cause a misunderstanding, can create an ambiguity. So that is why we need to help our students to master this by making sure that the standard that is said, the standard is said, and they're able to be taught to make. So we must ensure the master agreements of this at this lower level of education. So this is why we need rubrics because there will be standard we must hold them up to. But let me just say this. I did that point and I said to say, okay, let me talk about generative AI and students' essays. Now, in the age of AI, we need to be on the alert about the right of our students. And now why? It is not because of the intention of catching them, but it is because we need to teach them values that they can be held up to. So AI has come to stay. However, so we need to AI has come to stay. However, we need to moderate it in order not to. Yes, you see what I'm saying now. In this case now, what's happened? AI has come to stay. So that's the full stop, and it should be followed by a sentence. You see, this is what we are talking about. Aha. So this is what we are talking about. So let's go. Well, we need to moderate it in order not to lose the student to it. And they end up lacking the ability and agency. Because if it is the way students I used to say make a comment and it is thinking deeply that I brought that way of thinking, or you call it philosophy or whatever you want to call it. I always tell myself that is every child will want to steal. Now the duty of the parents to let the child know that stealing is bad, it is wrong, it is it affects society negatively, and then it comes out like I was in the vehicle today. I was telling some young men why we give all kinds of opinion, and I told them I said why one say that you rather remain in Nigeria with the corruption and I say well yes maybe and if you become rich all you need is that I say okay you may be rich there are people that have been rich but when the corruption will catch up with them their riches will not be able to save them because somebody probably a doctor that's supposed to be on duty to help them I said to go off probably even gone with the girl or busy with the patient and doing nonsense and that is why the person now may lose their life. And that's corruption catching up with them. So there's no reason for us to excuse any of these wrong things. And that is the long and short of this. So in generative AI, the temptation is for students to just put their topic and tell the AI, generative AI to generate an essay for them. And that's it too. But we always know that that essay okay, the parent may be able to moderate it. The person is losing their agency, the ability to create, and these are the things. Yes, there are things that AI is used for, that is useful for, that makes it easy. So what you use it now, make sure you are the one rendering, sending on around. So as far as our students are concerned, it we will become helpless to help our students if we do not let them know that they need to own the AI, if they must use AI, they should be the one dictating, not it dictating to them. They must own it, they must control it, they must be in charge so that maybe they need small questions, the AI should generate for them. That way they should know that they should tell AI, they should tell AI to go and let them write their essay. That is wrong because what are you testing? If the AI is the one that you are testing, and they don't know that it's actually expose themselves. We don't know what the future holds with AI. But you may get to the point that humans have so leave the agency for the AI that AI may we don't know. Let me not say I don't understand science that, but the way we are advancing will also mean that tomorrow AI could become a danger to the life of the human being. So essentially, as teachers, let us teach our students to know the value and the importance of them using their brain and their creative abilities, the energy to create rather than to be at the mercy of AI. So this I just felt this is important for me to just bring to our notice. So why we need rubrics? What is the first important thing? Okay, so we want to look at okay, no, I think actually I will come back to that. So the first question is that what do we need? The first important why do we need rubrics? So what is the first important thing about essays? So I'm going to bring up the essays. I'm just looking at the why are we looking for rubrics? Why are we looking for standard? Why are we looking for guidelines? So what is it? So these are the things in relation to the essay that we're going to use as sample. What is the major missing factor in essay 2? What will you suggest the student does better in essay 3? And what can be done to help SC4 students. So these are um, the points I raised in the course of taking this topic and looking at it. So what is the first important thing you notice in SC1? Okay, I don't know. Why am I repeating this? I don't understand why I'm repeating this. So let's see now. Let's look at the. Let me stop sharing so that I can go back to this essay. I don't know. I hope. Uh, okay, so there's something. Aha, so I need to stop share here. Then I will now share the essays so that we can. Let me see. Okay, so this is the student one. So let's share it. Okay. So I asked the question, what is the first thing you noticed in question? Now, when I was doing the workshop, I was looking at this issue, but what I noticed is that actually it was the person that did the scanning for us that made the mistake because there is no topic. That was the first thing I wanted the teachers to take note of, that there was no topic. But look, like I said, look at the content, look at the organization, look at the expression, but look at the mechanical accuracy. It is zero. You're going to see this happening over and over again because this was graded. This essay was graded as or used for the research. So it is zero. So that tells you that, of course, this was great. The grading was done by the researchers, and it tells you a lot. So where this person tries essentially an expression, but the other things are quite problematic. So this kind of person needs help with organization, needs help with content, and needs help with mechanical accuracy. So this tells you that this person needs a lot of help, despite even being better than some other people. So this is another this thing. So let me go to the next one. I will take the next essay so that we look at it. I hope you can see the next essay. So the next essay says, now we have the title. You reap what you sow. So there's a narration here. So we have the title, though I don't know why this person is giving three spaces online, but you can see from the very first word, once upon a time, this person has problem with spelling and pronunciation. The person is transferring I don't know why, but there's a serious problem with spelling, and I won't be surprised if this person got zero in mechanical accuracy once again. And I'm quite surprised. And worst is the person say got 5 in expression. So you see again, mechanical accuracy is zero because there are just too many errors. I will call this communication issue, communication competence issue. that we have here in this particular sample. Aha. So let's go to the next essay. Let's see now. Again, this person remember to put the title, but he's putting the title in quotation marks. Why? Why would the person be putting the title in quotation marks? So that also tell you that it is still a punctuation problem. So and you see again, let's go and look for the person's mechanical accuracy again. Let's go to the mechanical accuracy. Oh, wicked teachers. This person is also getting 0. But I'm not surprised because the person actually, though I don't know how this grading was done and what was used, based on which the mechanical accuracy was determined. But I know normally the tendency is to say, okay, you give the person half. I mean, the person loses mark for half point that the person do best. Let me assume is the researchers must have used the rubrics and decided to give this again. The expression is the best. Organization, okay. So and the content, okay. So, but essentially, you can see this person again, mechanical accuracy is 0. So this tells us there's a lot of problem that we need to deal with in mechanical accuracy. Anyway, it is not surprising, but again, I will just want to know if really the grading that was done using the point, like I said, half point for every mistake. Because when I look at the extends the again the total was not given about words. So sorry, this one was the adding up was not done. I'm sorry, this sample was given to me and I just did analysis of the samples. But you could see there are problems. So again, you have this person now. You report to so again the in quotation mark, why are they doing that? So that's the question you ask yourself. Why are they putting quotation marks on their titles? Why are they doing that? So I think it's an important question. As teachers of English, as we are watching this, we should ask ourselves. We should ask ourselves, why are students doing this? So either we have mistaught them or we have not corrected them enough. So I even expected this to have been indicated in the so um in the course of this again. So let's look again at the point of mechanical accuracy again. Unfortunately, this was cut off, but we could see definitely this person too is likely to get that 0. Um, you have the content 3.5. You have 3.5 organization again, 5.5 for expression. So in all cases, they actually got highest score in expression. So does it mean so why are they getting such poor marks in their mechanical accuracy? It's okay, it's possible. By the time you take all the points away, the mechanical accuracy may actually be poor. But then is the person able to really focus on the topic? Is it correct? Is there coherence in what the person is doing and all of that? So these are the questions that we need to ask the person. So let me see. I was actually on what is the first important thing you notice in this one? Like I told you, well, the first important thing, there was no topic, but I later found out that the person that scanned it for us to use for this workshop actually made mistake of cutting it off because every other one has it. So I want to assume that the way we have some of the scores actually scribble. No, this ain't take skill. Some people now may not have the skill. I was quite away, so when it had to be done for me from the office, so I didn't want to then doing the analysis before I realized some of these things were there, but they are not core things. So when we just look at the essays, the sample essays themselves, we see the problem that we are seeing, and there is a pattern, there is a irregularity of some misbehaviors, if you want to put it like that. So then So what will you suggest that what is the major missing factor in SC2? So we have noticed that of SC1. Then say what would you suggest the student does better in SC3, and what can be done to help SC4 student? So these are the things that I just wanted us to I just decided to say, okay, let's talk about when we're looking at these essays and all of that. So these are the things that I decided to say, okay, let's look at them. And you can see that this person um the kind of things this person is putting, that's I think that's the C3 now. So let's look at that. I am not when this time is I'm doing this video is a bit late for me, and I seem not to really remember what I think is the better. We can look at them and see in the comments and suggest what we think. So what I'll do is that let me start from S1. I have already said that essentially this person has problem data, but I've also said it is possible this person was the title was cut off. That's the major problem this person has. Then you're also seeing the problem with their tenses and all of that. Then we see on SC2, this one did not put the quotation marks on their topic, but why are they putting the space? Then you are saying there's spelling problem, of course, of poor writing too, makes it difficult to actually follow what this person is talking about. But this person put the end. So that is to tell you that this is story that the person is doing. So you reap what you sow. He ended it, or he or she, they ended it with the quotes like the other people did. Then let's look at this one now. The SC3 now, we see that this person put quote marks, and of course also in title. And then you see this person putting Benjamin's family. So why does the person need that? So you can look at this. Maybe I'll make out time and do another video on the analysis of the essays themselves. I don't know, but let me just, I just remember I promised my student a video on the APA style sheet, but I've not gotten around to it. I had to just create the time now. So these are things. So you may look at this and suggest what you think we can advise this person to do. So that is that. Let's look at the next. Let's look at the next. Uh, okay. I'm actually having because of the annotation. I don't know if I. So okay. Sorry. I hope you can see it. So I was having a bit of difficulty with the annotation bar there, so that I could. So let's see now if you could see all that need to be seen here. So I think this is 4. No, no, no. I think we are back again to 3. Yeah. So this is 4 now. This is 4 now. And let's see what do you think we can suggest. You can in the comments give your views. What you think that we can and there's this person, but obviously this person has a lot of problem with tenses. There's a lot of problem with tenses here. So, but you may look at it. Even spelling is a problem. So this person has problem with spelling too. Well, and apart from every other thing. So, but you may look at this and make your comments on this work and make your comment. But these are my own brief observations. I mean, this person has self-problem on spelling. Yeah, say copy. Say comping. So it is an error. It's not even a mistake because it is being repeated. Say grateful. So this person has serious error problem. So you can give me your comments, your observations. You can give us your comments in the comment below. You can actually make your suggestions. So I'm going to stop sharing and go back to my slides now. So let's go back to the slides here. So I've I'll raise these questions. I'll raise these questions and I hope you will attempt to give answers in the comments. So let's look at this. So now let's look at the summary. What have we learned from all that we have seen? Here is what we learned. Essays and types. So we define essay writing and discuss the different types of essays we have. Now we also discuss rubrics for assessing essays and we discuss the 4 basic rubrics designed to assess essays objectively. So if you know what your teacher will be looking for as a student, then you also learn to master them. Now, as a teacher, if you know what your students are having as a major challenge after giving them essay and scoring a few times, then you identify and say, probably eventually you may have to group them into these different classes and help them to overcome. Yeah, and I think that makes sense. So that if the one that is the person that has a strong point somewhere should not you should not put the person in the class of people that are still learning to grappling with that. So if you know what is it like, we've noticed somebody that the person has tense problem, he has problem even of spelling. I don't know. Maybe you start teaching the person grammar, I wouldn't know really, but you can see the person's challenge is mainly organizational. You can group them together and let them work together and give them assignments for them to do that as a teacher. So these are the things I learned. So practical examples, example essays that I said were presented and discussed. So this is what we have done here. So now what is the conclusion that we can arrive at? So there are problems with our assessment of essays. Definitely we could see now that we need to use rubrics to help our students learn how to write effectively by showing them the science behind the task of essay writing that they perform. So let them not just look at it that, oh, it's just for me to just get grades to move to the next class. Now, whatever type of essay they're writing, they need to understand the science behind it. They need to understand what you're looking for. They need to understand, okay, if it's a narration, then there should be chronological presentation. Even if you are doing a description, you must either go from low to high or high to low. Even if you are doing argumentation, you must, of course, present the points now positive and then probably counter later. So there's a process, and if you are giving an explanation, it should be logical, it should make sense. It should not be just like what was happening in the vehicle I was in today, that everybody just acting and raising their voices, everybody was listening to the other. That should not be the way it is done. It should be that there should be an explanation. I mean, science thrives on an explanation. If you have when you talk of experiment, and that's what we're going to tell students that by the time you are doing your long essay and you need to present your methodology, you need to explain all the process and procedure. Now, when you tell them to write a research report, most times they don't understand that what they to do is to explain exactly what they did, so that somebody else can try that, maybe in another location, in another place, and then probably be able to determine, oh, this result, I got the same result, or because the location has changed now, the result is different. Be able to identify this. And that's why the methodology is very crucial to the assessment of your work as a student. So even though you're an undergraduate, you still know you're going to write a long essay. So why not understand essentially what it is now? By writing the short essays, then you graduate into the long essay. So thank you for listening. It's been a pleasure doing this. God bless you guys. So you can contact me through any of my contacts, of course. This is my official email, and then my social media handles, all my social media platforms. I think the same. I think is one or two that you may have a bit of adjustments. Otherwise, all of my social handle platform have been brought together to have this one handles for ease of reference and the shortness and all that. Then I've got my website, so you can also contact us. We also have both of this email. The website also has its own official email, so you can still reach us. So thank you very much. It has been a pleasure doing this. So you can always reach out, but please ensure that you comment. Like we ask you some questions concerning listen, please let's have your feedback. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to follow me on my social using my social media and handle. Um, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to share it. I mean, it is still free. Before we start making videos that actually you have to pay before you can access them. So for now, enjoy the free videos. See you guys in the next video. God bless you guys. Ah.